All right, guys, welcome to an episode of Dropping Dimes. I'm your host, Flavo Rihanna, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. All right, guys, so you guys have been living underneath a rock. We all know what's going on with the KD and Kyrie saga. All right, this is my perspective on what might end up happening. There's been a lot of rumors as of right now, as that Kyrie wants to team up back up with LeBron, this time in LA. All right. They didn't like how stuff was being managed in Brooklyn. And quite frankly, all right, as selfish as I was and I wanted them to stick around, I think it's best that they both leave. Okay. Clearly, ownership, management did not have, the right mindset, to allow both KD and Kyrie just to run the show. There's reasons why there's leadership where you have to go through, management, ownership to allow, things to happen. All right. And the fact that they allow the players to take control of the situation, take control of the franchise. All right. And, not respect Steve Nash as a coach and stuff like that. And allow, the players, KD and Kyrie, to put in their input that they want Steve Nash as their coach. Right. Kyrie didn't want Kenny Atkinson to be the head coach. And when Kenny Atkinson was the head coach, you saw the development of the young players that the Nets did have, like your Karis LeVert, your Spencer Dinwiddie's, D'Angelo Russells, Jared Allen, all right? Those guys, they ended up, excelling, all right? And then you trade those pieces away, all right, to get James Harden, right? And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, maybe in the next couple of years, right, where we do see a 30 for 30, that team of KD, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, all right, were only able to win one playoff series, and the franchise never really gave that trio, that big three, somewhat of a chance, okay, just because when they were playing, all right, and I know a lot of circumstances have happened. You had COVID-19, all right, you had injuries, all right, James Harden being injured. You had KD hurting his leg. All right, he was injured. All right, Kyrie being one of the more stubborn players in the NBA. All right, in that first year, he ended up only playing 20 games and realized when KD wasn't when he felt like, what's right? Why am I playing? Why am I gonna continue going all out? Kyrie just packed it in. Season 2 with the Nets, he ended up getting hurt in that Milwaukee Bucks series, and then season 3 with the Nets, the whole pandemic situation, and not refusing to get the vaccine. Look, I'm not gonna be that type of person that's gonna tell him that he needs to get the vaccine or if he doesn't. All right, that's not what the show is for. But so many different circumstances have come out in their tenure with the Nets that I do think that it's best if you get a king's ransom for Kevin Durant. You trade Kyrie Irving for whatever you can get for him, okay, to the best possible offer that you can get, all right? Don't trade him just to LA just because he wants to go there and accommodate him. You already accommodated him so much, all right, in his time in Brooklyn. There's no reason to accommodate him on his exit, on his way out of Brooklyn. KD had put out a wish list on where he wants to go, and two teams that he wants to go. It's Miami Heat. Yeah, the Miami Heat and the Phoenix Suns. All right. Quite ironically, Phoenix, title contender. All right. He wants to go there. All right. And Miami, which I personally like the idea of him going to Miami, because even though it's not like the Golden State Warriors in talent level, the culture that Pat Riley sets over there, he's running the show. He doesn't allow anybody else to dictate how the show is being ran. All right. I really do like how the Miami Heat culture would probably benefit somebody like a Kevin Durant, because he enjoyed his time in Golden State. He loved how they're playing a team-oriented basketball. All right. And you have pieces in Miami. I don't think they have the package that Phoenix has to get a Kevin Durant. Okay. But those are the two places that he wants to go. Now, me personally, I do feel like if I'm the Nets, I'm calling Golden State and I'm asking them, What can I get for your young players? All right, your Jordan Poole, your Kumingas, your Jonathan Kumingas. All right, you could get for what's the center that James Wiseman. Okay, you know, what can you get for him? What can you get for Mooney? All right, get any of your young players, try to get that in a package. Okay, because Kevin Durant, you saw what he was able to do in Golden State. All right, and Golden State has a lot of young pieces that they can offer. All right. I highly doubt Golden State executes that type of a trade, because I don't think they're trying to damage up their core, because they just won the title. Okay, there's no reason for them to blow it up just to get Kevin Durant. Okay, sure, that might allow them to win maybe one or two more titles, just because the NBA is getting younger and the NBA is getting better. Okay, but that's also shortening their window in the long term. So I don't see Golden State doing that. But for the Nets, I'm making that phone call, and I'm at least trying to hear, you know, if they're willing to listen or not. Okay. Would you trade Kevin Durant to LA? I mean, what are you gonna trade him for? LeBron James? I mean, that might not even be enough, because LeBron is on the downside of his career. Not to say that he's bad, all right, but his downside, his peak was all the way up, all right, all the way up. All right, we're talking about like Mount Everest high, his peak, and he's just starting to come down. All right, within the last couple of years, you see him have injuries and stuff like that. Would the Nets try to make a proposed deal for that? I'm not entirely sure. I would need LeBron James and possibly some picks, but if you're including picks, there's no way that the LA Lakers are going to include picks in a trade like that. All right, and the idea of pairing Kevin Durant with Russell Westbrook, that doesn't even seem appeasable whatsoever. All right, but the good thing about the Nets is that they have leverage, and the fact that they have Kevin Durant under contract for 4 years, and there's no opt-outs whatsoever. So that's a solid 4 years. All right, it's not like he's going to opt out after the second year of the deal. So they can get a king's ransom. Sean Marks has said that he wants at least 2 All-Stars. There was a possible proposed deal that they will be able to get somebody from Phoenix of a DeAndre Ayton, Miles Bridges, and I believe Cam Johnson and some picks. All right, that's not enough. All right, that's definitely nowhere near enough where the Nets can say, okay, we're comfortable, you know, making this type of a trade. DeAndre Ayton, you know, sure, you know, Phoenix didn't want to give him a contract extension. They could do a sign and trade and send him to Brooklyn, but I don't see how that's going to work out. All right, the Nets have so many stuff that they need to work on. All right, Ben Simmons, is he going to be able to return back this year, or are they going to trade him away? All right, and just do a whole new rebuild. All right, but overall, the whole landscape of the Brooklyn Nets is going down. All right. They made a huge trade in the midway point of last season. They ended up acquiring Seth Curry, Ben Simmons, and I forgot who else they ended up acquiring in that deal. Oh, Andre Drummond. All right, and that was just to help bolster the Nets into possible title contention. All right, added more pieces, but unfortunately, Kevin Durant's in a one out. All right, they have other players that they could trade away to. You Joe Harris and stuff like that. If they want to make a full rebuild, okay, the Nets definitely have the pieces. They definitely do have the pieces. All right, I don't know what the Nets are going to be able to do to acquire from KD, especially the fact that they're asking for 2 All-Stars. The fact that KD wants out definitely diminishes their return on their investment. But you know, that's the NBA. There's so much change every single year with the NBA. I know the NBA loves it and stuff like that, but outside of the Nets, I mean, the whole NBA is happy, especially the New York Knicks fans, all right? Because KD and Kyrie, you know, outed the Knicks. They sold them out. You know, they sold them that they were going to go to New York, all right? But they just never said which part of New York. And they ended up going to the Barclays Center instead of the Garden. But yeah, guys, put in the comment section below, where do you think KD is going to end up going in a trade? And if you're the Brooklyn Nets, where are you trading KD and Kyrie to, and are you willing to pair them up together to see if you're able to get a massive package? Until then, guys, I'm Flavo Rihanna, and thank you for tuning in to Dropping Dimes. Please hit the like and subscribe button, guys, for more videos to come. So then, peace, guys, and have a happy 4th of July weekend. Peace, guys. See ya.